If you don't agree with the helmet coming off in the show, you don't like our show. Yes. Yes, that would make sense. Yep, that's a true statement, Pablo. Yep. Round of applause for you, buddy. This is to do with Halo, of course. He's recently come out and actually tried to say, look, Master Cheeks intercourse scene was a mistake, and I argued against it. I guess that was trying to defend it in some way, trying to defend his career in this role anyway, trying to agree with people. If you didn't know, Halo Season 1 came out and there was basically lots of bum shots, so everyone called him Master Cheeks, and he had some random sexy time with Maki. It was really, really odd. Don't really understand why. And he came out to SFX magazine and said the decision to make the connection between Maki and John, romantic connection, was a huge mistake. I thought it was a huge mistake at the time, and I argued against it, and I fought against it. But I am who I am. I don't write the scripts. I only give my opinion. It wasn't listened to. Sure, fine. But then he's come out and said this, and you're just like, well, yeah. There's an awful lot else wrong with this show anyway. So much more wrong with this show. I reviewed this on a weekly basis, and they were some of the... I think I did them live because I originally took the episode and chopped it up and edited it, and you couldn't release it because... Well, you just couldn't. You couldn't because the copyright claims were unbelievable. They were really clamping down on it. And I think even at the time, if I remember rightly, Angry Joe, who got it in advance, still got copyright claims. So he was working with Paramount, and then they still copyright claimed him, even though they had given him access. Work that one out. Basically, they were not happy with anyone talking smack about it. So I reviewed these on a live stream weekly basis, and they were hilarious. People really enjoyed them. It's a terrible show. It just wasn't very good. I will say this. I'll give it them this, right? Season 2 trailers come out, and it does look better. But that doesn't mean anything, because of course it could still be garbage. And they've tricked us before. So obviously they're trying to ramp up promotion for the second season. So they spoke with SFX magazine. And he was asked about his thoughts on those critics who, they still take issue with Master Cheeks' amount of face time. And Pablo says, people who don't like the helmet, people who don't feel the helmet was necessary to come off, they're at such an early conception of what this show could be. Yes, chap. Yes, they are. They're just trying to watch it and enjoy it as Master Cheeks. Sorry, Master Chief. They don't want Master Cheeks. They want Master Chief. So yes, they are. In order to examine the discrepancy between these two versions of the character, his Spartan and human sides, you can't tell that story without taking the helmet off. Yes, you can. However, rather than even offer acknowledgement of his critics' completely valid issue, Schreiber instead insulted them by declaring, if you don't agree with the helmet coming off in the show, you don't like our show, so there's no point discussing it. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Any negative criticism is not valid now. Ah, yes. Ah, yes, this is the review bombing trope, isn't it? Ah, the mark of an intellectual. Yes. There's no point discussing it because you just don't like our show. Yes, yes. So there's no way that you could possibly improve based on the negative critique. No, not at all. As noted above, this is not the first time Schreiber has stood behind the series' decision to have the Chief feel the wind blow through his hair. Discussing the topic with Slash Films' Ryan Scott following the series' world premiere at 2023 South by Southwest Festival, the actor said, I always knew that the helmet off was going to be a big part of the show because, just frankly, it's the only way to tell this story in long-form television format. No, it's the only way for you to feel like you've secured your job. That's what it is. And for you to get more money because you're there on set. That is genuinely what it is. The game was made as a first-person shooter where you're meant to believe that you're the Master Chief. So the character was kept vague for that reason, and you infuse the character with your own personality and own subtleties. This is a TV show being made for long-term success. In order to do that, you have to bring the audience along with you. And really, the only way of doing that is seeing the face, knowing how the character's feeling about things. That's how you empathise with them. That's how you go along with them on this journey. That's actually completely incorrect. You don't infuse Master Chief with yourself. Like, there are a lot of like £90 weaklings playing Halo. They're not infusing themselves with Master Chief. They're taking what Master Chief is and feeling like a boss. Because that's what Master Chief is. A stoic boss. You're not like, oh, I'm just putting a bit of myself in there. A £90 weakling that, you know, can't even talk to women. Yeah, sure, mate. Piss off. God. These people. And this is what he continued to say back then. So it was always a necessary thing. And it was a necessary thing to do early to get the audience comfortable with going on this journey. Also because the character has been kept vague for so long. He wasn't vague. I really don't... I also don't really understand where they're going to go with this character now. Because they lobotomized him at the end of the last episode. They legitimately lobotomized him. Right? He was brain dead. He wasn't there. He wasn't a character anymore. He was taken over by Cortana. So I don't know... I don't know where they're going to go with this character now. They've lobotomized him, chap. Like, what are you doing? The process of the first season is really the process of John learning who he is as a human being. So who is the Master Chief is kind of the big question that we're going to fill in the first season. No one knew who he... No, what? That wasn't answered. Now we can look back on his first comments before the show and just go, you're talking crap. It's through the process of him learning about himself, and therefore we, as audience members, we all learn about that along with him. I'll give him this. Pablo's, a pretty articulate chap, actually, quite frankly. And he definitely put in the work on the physicality aspect for the show. But you are dealing with writers that just fundamentally don't understand the show. They don't understand the material they're working with. And this whole nonsense of... Well, you know, as a game, you project yourself onto him. No, you don't. You play as a stoic badass killing aliens. You know, doing things, being incredibly brave for the betterment of humankind. That's what you do. There is no £90 weakling going, I'm just going to put myself on him. No, you don't. Okay, you just don't. It's not how it works. So there you go, very, very funny stuff. I thought we could all enjoy this. Hit subscribe if you're new here. Follow me over on Twitter, @MrHReviews, and Instagram @MrHReviews too. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.